Hello there guys, it's Martha Mew here, and today we have Dragonstorm cards. And Dragonstorm, as you can see on the screen, is the official Japanese TCG for Sun and Moon 6a. So, you may not know, but Sun and Moon 6 is going to be our Sun and Moon Forbidden Light, which is our next set out on May the 5th. Japan have some smaller sets usually in between their main sets that we get, and A is the first of them. We haven't really heard much about 6b. This one's called Dragonstorm, the other one is something about fairies. This set seems to contain mostly dragon and fire type Pokemon. So as we can see here, we've got a Charmander and a Charmeleon. Charmander isn't really anything to be to write home about, though it does burn for 2 energy, which isn't too bad. Charmeleon. Okay, so I haven't seen many of these cards at all, guys, so I'm going to really be reading them. Ability, Burning Spirit. Once during your turn before you attack, when you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may discard the top 5 cards of your deck and attach any energy discarded in this way to this Pokemon. That's pretty good. It can put a DCE on the field, of course, but not that it'll use it, which is a little bit of an iffy thing. So what's it need after that? So just Flamethrower, 80 damage, discard 1 energy. Okay. So the Charizard also has an ability. This Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active for each Pokemon EX and GX your opponent has in play, which is pretty good, because it's doing 130 for 3 energy as it is. So I guess the more energy you've attached to it via Charmeleon with that ability, oh yeah, I suppose you can only evolve it once, obviously, onto it once, so you can only get that much energy on it once. But the more energy you hit with those 5 cards, the more you can do with this in one go, I guess, because you can just discard 1 energy, discard 1 energy. Of course, that 130 most of the time would be 160, because what's the likelihood somebody's used a Tapu Lele, or even 2 Tapu Lele, meaning this is doing 190 for 3 energy. That's a really good card. Now, I have seen this card, and I remember loving this Victini. 2 fire energy, does 20 damage, and 20 damage times. This does 20 damage times the number of basic energy cards in your discard pile. So this is really good late game if you've discarded a load of stuff from the Charizard, for instance, or a lot of the fire Pokemon do discard energy when they attack. And it doesn't even have to be fire energy in there, just basic energy cards in your discard pile. So you run this in a dual type deck or whatever, and as long as you've got 2 fire energy to attach to it, that's pretty damn good. So we have a Darumaka, 10 damage plus 50 points, we get Tails to 30 more damage. Darmanitan, Heat Assist for 1 fire energy, attach up to 3 fire energy from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. It's not too bad, I guess, and can help charge up stuff like that. Charizard, it being a stage 1, is a little bit clunky, and obviously it's an attack rather than an ability. But so 2 fire energy and 1 colourless. Darum Assault, 30 plus damage. Flip 4 coins and does 50 more damage for each head, so that could end up being a big attack. I don't think it's worth doing anything with though. So Heatmore, Super Singe, your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. Pretty simple. Blackened Breath, 120 damage, and if your Pokemon isn't burned, it does nothing. Okay, not so good. So, first GX card, Reshiram we get. This is 1 colourless for Flame Charge. Search your deck for 2 basic fire energy cards and attach them to this Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. So it sets itself up. And then, so obviously you've got that 1 colourless, which you presume would be a fire energy, probably. On there, you attach 2 more for its attack, and then presumably you've got another fire energy in your hand, hopefully. You can do Scorching Pillar the next turn after that for 110 damage and burning the opponent's active. I still feel that is a lot of energy for 110 damage. Granted, it does quicken itself up by attaching its own energy from the deck, but it's still a little bit, yeah. It's not all bad, but you know. And then Vermilion GX does 180 damage, and you may attach up to 5 fire energy from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. You need to have that in hand beforehand. If it was from deck, that would be much better. But then I guess 180 damage and going into the deck to attach to fire energy is a little bit overpowered. Okay, so we got another Salandit and Salazzle. God, they love doing these Pokemon. Then we got a Call for Family. Deck for a single basic Pokemon, reveal it and put it onto your bench, and just 20 damage with claws. Dig Claws. And then the Salazzle, this one is 1 fire energy, flame circle, 20 damage, your opponent's active Pokemon is burned. The defending Pokemon can't attack during your opponent's next turn. Can't attack, so they'd have to switch. Ooh, that's interesting. So 1 fire, 1 colourless flamethrower does 80 damage, discard an energy attached from this Pokemon. Like I said, a lot of the fire Pokemon do that. Oh, so we do see some water. Hello. So we have a Horsey with 1 water energy splatter, does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so you can hit bench. Pretty cool. A second Horsey, this one does 10 damage, and does 10 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. So that's pretty good early game, I guess. That's not too bad at all. Seadra evolves from my baby. Bless Horsey. It does basically the same thing as this Horsey does, but does 20 more damage for each water attached to it. To itself, that is, of course. And then the Kingdra, I remember reading this card and thinking it was amazing, and I kind of wanted to do something with it. 1 colourless energy does 10 damage, and it does 50 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. So you attach stuff for, if you don't evolve things, so you attach stuff for this in the first place. That's doing 30 base from the Seadra there, and this, because you have to have a water energy attached to it anyway, probably to attack, it's going to do at least 60 damage. You attach another energy to there, that's doing 110. That's for 2 energy, 2, as opposed to the 4 energy it took for Reshiram. 3 energy, and you're going up to 160. And if you manage to get 4 energy on that, it's got 230 HP as well, guys. This I feel is going to be used. It's a really good water Pokemon. You get 4 energy on there, it's doing 210 damage, which can one-shot just about everything, especially with a Choice Band. If you chuck a Choice Band on it, it is actually going to knock out just about everything. The only thing it misses is the 250 from like the Gardevoir, Solgaleo, Lunala, that kind of thing. But really, what can you? I mean, if you do little base damage like the Horsey does, like this Horsey with Splatter doing 20 damage to any Pokemon, that's going to like add the the rest onto that. I think Kingdra GX is pretty damn good. I want to put that out there. So we have another Magikarp and Gyarados. Magikarp probably not worth reading. Gyarados ability. Rise. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an opponent's attack, put 2 damage counters on each of your bench Pokemon. Ooh. I don't like that. What's its payoff though? 2 water energy and 1 colourless. Wild Tail does 160. You may discard a stadium card in play. Okay. You may discard it, so it doesn't need to discard it. But of course, if it's your opponent's and you don't want it in play. But if it gets damaged, 2 damage counters on each of your bench. Oof. You'd want something with some sort of bench barrier for that. Okay, so Lapras. 1 water energy, Aqua Bullet, 20 damage, does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench. So 20 to your active and 20 to a bench, pretty good. 3 colourless energy, Hydro Pump, 70 plus damage. This attack does 10 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. So if you've got 3 water energy on there, it's doing 100 damage. That's not bad for 3 energy. It's not, Kingdra GX level, but oh my gosh, this Wooper artwork! I need to zoom in. I know that's probably really out of script. Oh my gosh, look. Look at the one in the background. Oh dear. Whooper. Whooper. So cute. So we got this Whooper. It doesn't really do much, but it's dead cute. This Quagsire is really good too. I kind of want to do a Kingdra Quagsire deck because this thing is really good. So its ability is Wash Out. As often as you like during your turn before you attack, you may move a water energy from one of your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. So if you need extra damage and you have if you have energy on the bench and you've got your Kingdra inactive and you just need a little bit extra damage, just move an energy to the active. Oh, Kingdra needs to move out, move him out. This thing comes in, and then for 3 energy, it's doing 60 damage plus 20 more for each water energy attached to it. So if you've got just the 3 that you need for its attack, it's doing 120 damage for 3 energy. This is a stage 1 non-GX Pokemon. I kid you not. I think I have a really cool idea for a deck here. Next we have a Corsola, which has 1 water energy attack. Bubble Jet, this attack does 20 damage times the number of water energy attached to this Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So you can hit any Pokemon that they have, but the damage is depending on how much water energy is attached. So we have a Feebas. With an ability, if it's on your bench, it takes no damage from attacks, so can be used with that Gyarados, I guess. Its attack isn't anything to write home about. Aura Wave for this Milotic. Why didn't Milotic get GX? I love Milotic a lot. Its artwork's pretty cool. It's a bit 3D, but it's pretty cool. 1 water energy does Aurora Wave for 30 damage and confuses the opponent's active. We've seen that before in SB on GX, and we know how annoying confusion is if you can't switch out. And then 3 water energy, Aqua Split does 40 damage, and it does 40 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon as well. That's actually pretty good. So yes, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it spreads the damage, which can be pretty good. Again, with that Kingdra, it's just doing that little bit extra damage. It might not be as worth running as the Quagsire, just because the Quagsire itself is pretty good, but you know, I still like that Milotic. We have a Wishy-Washy, another Wishy-Washy. So what's this one's ability? Meetup Point. As long as this Pokemon is in play, each of your Wishy-Washy GX get plus 20 HP. Whew, and their attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active. Pretty interesting. Okay, so 1 water energy does 20 damage, nothing else. So that's okay. I can't remember off the top of my head how much damage Wishy-Washy GX does. I know it takes a heap of energy to do it, but doing 20 more damage as well, and adding 20 HP to them, not bad. So we have Trapinch as the only fighting type Pokemon here. I think that's because we get Flygon as a dragon type. So it has Tremor for 20 damage, and it does 10 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. Okay, you're probably never going to use that. I mean, self-damaging yourself means if you've used like a Tapu Lele, for instance, you could Ace Roller it up and get that out of harm's way, and also obviously use the Tapu Lele again. So that's pretty good. Anyway, so we have a Dratini for 60 HP. Dratini, pretty cool. Wrap does 10 damage. Flip a coin if heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralysed. And we have a second Dratini that takes 2 energy. Oh, the first one was a lightning energy attack by the looks. 1 lightning energy. This one's a water and a colourless. It looks like we're going to be using water and lightning on the evolved Pokemon here. Does 30 damage with no effect. The Dragonair is 3 colourless energy. To flip 2 coins, 60 damage for each head. Probably never going to use that. It's a second attack. It takes 4 energy and does 80 damage. Ooh. You're probably never going to play that, because I think I remember a card that is coming out. I think it might be a supporter that's pretty damn good. So we have this Dragonite GX for 250 HP, another Pokemon with that huge 250 HP. 1 lightning energy, does 70 damage for 1 lightning energy. Whew! Okay, now you're talking. And then 1 water energy, 1 lightning energy, and a double colourless, basically. Giga Impact does 200 damage. This Pokemon can't attack during your next turn, unless you switch it. And then its GX attack is 3 colourless energy, Dragon Porter GX. Put 3, this is Dragon, put 3 Dragon Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. It doesn't say basic, it doesn't say anything about that. So, to me, you get 1 Dragonite GX out, you chuck all the others into the discard pile, and you can just chuck the Dragonite GX straight onto your bench with no problem. And if you've got a lightning energy as one of those colourless energy, you're doing 70 damage if you don't manage to do that. I feel that that is pretty good. I think that's pretty good. As stage 2s go, it's worth getting to, just for that last attack, just for the GX attack, just chucking instantly fully evolved Dragon Pokemon on the bench. Wow. Okay. So we have the Vibrava. Sonic Edge, 50 damage, isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So, pretty cool, because there's some Pokemon that have, like, takes 30 less damage from whatever. Doesn't get affected. The Flygon. Dragon Protection. Prevent all effects to your opponent's attacks except damage done to your Dragon Pokemon. And then, obviously, 2 Fighting and 1 Colourless Energy. Santoon does 110 damage, and your opponent, the defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. I don't feel like this Flygon's ability is good enough to warrant playing it, because it's a stage 2, takes long enough to get into, etc. It's pretty good if it was a stage 1, maybe, but as a stage 2, no. So we have an Altaria. Presumably Swablu is a normal type then. This one has an ability saying Fight Song. Your Dragon Pokemon's attacks, that's what N means by the way, I read it as normal originally. Your Dragon Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active. Ooh. Chuck a Choice Band on that Dragonite and have this Altaria on the bench and you're hitting 250. Ooh. Okay. It's the Dragon type Pokemon itself, so this attack of its own thing is 2 energy to do 40 damage, which isn't amazing. I like how they've managed to not write its weakness properly, and its weakness to dairy. We have a Druddigon, which ability is Rough Skin, as we know Druddigon has. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon is damaged by an opponent's attack, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. I presume that's even if it's knocked out, because you're still being damaged by an opponent's attack. I would think so, but it doesn't actually say that, and usually it does. But 1 fire, 1 water, and 1 colourless energy does 100 damage. Yeah, I don't think that's worth running. So we have a Zekrom. What's this Zekrom do? 1 lightning, 2 colourless, shred, 70 damage, isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. We're seeing a lot more of these kind of attacks, which need to be on GX Pokemon more often than not. So anyway, and Bolt Strike does 150 damage, and if Tails, this Pokemon does 50 damage to itself. Ouch. Ouch. Kyurem. 2 colourless energy does outrage, 20 damage. This does 10 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon as well. Okay, like every other Reshiram and Zekrom and Kyurem ever. Okay. So 2 water and a colourless does Frost Spear, 100 damage, and it does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench. That's pretty good. It's definitely better than Glaceon's thing that does very similar. I guess it's doing... Glaceon does 90 to active and 30 to a bench, whereas this is doing more damage to active, but just comes back on the bench side, but still, that's not too bad. Yeah. Okay, so we have a white Kyurem GX. Pretty cool looking. 1 fire energy, shred, does 40 damage. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Like I was just saying, we need more like that. Only doing 40 damage though, unlike Dialga has a very similar kind of thing. In fact, I think it's even called Shred. but it does 80 damage. I think it also takes more energy to do, but there we go. For one fire energy, that's not too bad. And then we've got 1 fire energy, 1 water energy. Enraged Blade does 80 plus damage. If this Pokemon has any damage counters on it at all, it does 80 more. So you'd think it's probably going to have damage counters on it. So do 160 for 3 energy. That's not bad. That's not bad. Its GX attack takes 1 more fire energy than the previous attack. Dragon Nova GX does 200 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned and paralysed. Pretty cool. I like that. So the additional energy for that extra damage, yeah, why not? And the extra effect. Excuse me. So we have a Zygarde. For 1 fighting energy, does 20 damage. The defending Pokemon can't retreat during the next turn, unless you use a switch. Or Guzma, you know, etc. Its second attack is 1 fighting and 2 colourless. Enraged Blade, 60 damage. If this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, it does 60 more damage. It's pretty similar to the other one, but only does 120. Okay, cool. So Turtonator, because, you know, again, they love printing Turtonator. But this one's a dragon type. 3 fire energy, explosive jet does 50 times damage. You may discard any number of fire. You may discard any number of fire energy attached to your whole Pokemon, all of your Pokemon. So it's not this Pokemon. This attack does 50 damage for each card discarded in this way. That would work really well with that Victini. You just discard energy all over the place with this Turtonator and do a lot of damage for it, and then just come in with Victini and just wreck house because you've got loads of energy in discard pile. Okay, I like that. Anyway, Drampa. 1 colourless energy does Dragon's Wisdom for 20 damage. Attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your Dragon Pokemon. Not bad. 3 energy, Hyper Voice does 80 damage. Okay, I like that its first attack is 1 energy. It does specify Dragon Pokemon, but I'll put it past that. It's fine. Hello. We've got a Jangmo for a Lightning Energy. Rigidify. During your opponent's next turn, any damage done to this Pokemon its attacks is reduced by 20. Okay. 1 fighting, 1 colourless. Dragon Claw does 20 damage. We've got Hakamoto. Guard Press 30 damage. During your opponent's next turn, any attacks is reduced by 30. And then Dragon Claw does 70 damage. Okay, so Komodo, 1 lightning, 1 colourless, 60 damage, reduced by 30. Okay, pretty similar. And then we've got 1 fighting and 2 colourless. Enraged Uppercut does 90 damage, and if this Pokemon has 8 or more damage counters on it, it does 120 more damage. What? So I can do 210 damage as long as it's got 8 damage counters on it. It's got 160 HP as well for a non-GX Pokemon. I mean, I know it's Stage 2, but that's not bad. Not bad at all. I don't see it played, but not bad. Ooh, Swablu with Collect, draw a card. I like that. Not bad. Okay, so they... Oh, I see a trainer here. I'm interested. They're reprinting Aqua Patch. Why not? I mean...
Where's Dark Patch?
Where's Dark Patch? Indeed.
Or Fire Patch, you know.
Yeah. Aqua Patch are reprinting. And then we got a new trainer that I haven't seen announced called Switch Boy. Switch your active water Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Then heal 30 damage from the Pokemon you move to the bench. Okay, I don't dislike that. Yeah, cool, I like that. Flint, this card is amazing. Search your deck to put up to 4 fire energy, reveal them and put them into your hand and shuffle your deck. It's an item card that basically does what the supporter lady does, but only for fire energy, so that helps with that fire searching that all those Pokemon previously had said, oh, attach this many fire energy cards from your hand to your Pokemon when you use this attack. So this Flint is a really good card for that. This whole set seems really playable. I don't know about you guys. So Dragon's Talon, it's a tool card. So if the dragon Pokemon this tool card is attached to is your active Pokemon is damaged by an opponent's attack, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. It's basically a little bit like Bursting Balloon, but it'll do it every time. Pretty damn good. Only works for dragon Pokemon, of course. I feel like that Dragonite is going to get some pretty damn love. I feel it coming. We have Kiawe being reprinted. Search for 5 energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon, shuffle your deck, and energy turn. This Blaine's Explosive Battle is broken to all holy hell. You can only play this card if it... Oh, I missed that bit. You can only play this card if it's the only card in your hand. Cool. Well, that's good, because for each of your fire Pokemon in play, draw 2 cards. So... You know all those people that used to basically just have the only card in their hand be Sycamore and then just draw 7 cards? If you have a full bench and active of fire Pokemon, you're drawing 12 cards. Woo! That's a lot. But you have to only have that one in your hand. So if you get him down to 1 and just manage to get that, fantastic. I think that card's really cool. Zinnia finally gets a card. You can only play this card if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your last turn. Attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your hand to one of your Dragon Pokemon. Something having to get knocked out for you to use it. But you can attach 3 energy in 1 turn if this happens. So, pretty good. Lance Prism Star. So, as most Prism Stars are, you can only have one of this name in your deck. You can only play this card if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, so it's same as Zinnia. But you search your deck for 2 Dragon Pokemon and put them on your bench. So, very similar to the Dragonite. If you didn't manage to get them into your discard pile and the Dragonite gets knocked out beforehand, and you've got Lance Prism Star in your hand, play Lance Prism Star, chuck 2 brand new, straight up Dragonites on your bench. It just says 2 Dragon Pokemon. It doesn't say 2 basic Dragon Pokemon. It's broken. It's meant to be broken. It's a Prism Star. I think it's pretty good. Pretty damn good. Anyway, Wella Volcano Park Stadium card. Each player's burned Pokemon remains burned between turns, even if the coin flip is heads. So yeah, pretty damn amazing. That was Burn's one weakness, is that you basically just roll out of it. You have a choice to roll out of it. With this, no such option, so that's pretty cool. We get a reprint of Devoured Field, probably because of all the Dragon Pokemon in this set. We get another reprint of Brooklet Hill, probably because of all the Water Pokemon in this set. I think that this set is exceptionally good. I'm not biased in any way. I love Water Pokemon, but I still think that anybody looking at this would say Kingdra GX is the best card in this whole set. And I don't know what's going to be in the fairy section of this, but this is what's going to be our, I think it'll be August, late August, start of September set. I think May, June, July, August. Somewhere around there. I'm not sure. It might be the start of August. Yeah, I think it's the start of August. So this combined with whatever we're getting in the fairy kind of set is going to be our set 7. So after Forbidden Light. I think it's going to be a really amazing deck, this Kingdra. Yeah. Anyway, I would love to hear your guys' opinions. Leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you hit that like button and even subscribe if you have a second to do that. And I shall see you next time for more videos, matches and reviews and everything else. Thank you very much for stopping by. Bye bye.